We're going to be talking about something, it's reselling used kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, they can actually have value, either as income for you or a way to help others.
It's funny you should mention that. I was talking to a friend the other day, and they were just going to chuck their cabinets. Rip them out and toss them.
Big mistake. That's essentially throwing money away, or at least the opportunity to help somebody else.
Well, how do you make money off them? What's the secret sauce?
The key really is to understand what buyers want and present your cabinets in the best light possible.
So make them look good, like a fresh coat of paint.
That's definitely part of it. But before you even get to that, think about selling a used car. You got to provide detailed information.
Pictures and stuff?
Exactly. High-quality photos are absolutely crucial. Use good lighting, capture multiple angles, and, don't be afraid to get up close.
Close-ups of like scratches.
Scratches, dings, drawer pulls, show the details, be honest, be transparent.
But won't that scare people off? I mean, who wants to buy damaged goods?
It's not about hiding imperfections. It's about setting realistic expectations. If you're upfront about wear and tear, it actually builds trust.
Because it shows you're not trying to hide anything.
Right. It's like, you're not selling brand new cabinets here. Buyers expect some signs of use. What you want to avoid is vague descriptions or misleading photos.
Because then they think you're hiding something.
Exactly. That's where you lose credibility. So yeah, good photos, honest descriptions, that's a good starting point.
What about measurements? Do people really care about that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Imagine trying to buy clothes online without knowing your size.
That's a nightmare.
It is. And it's the same with cabinets. Provide precise dimensions of each cabinet. The layout, the number of drawers, the type of hinges.
So basically give them a blueprint?
Precisely. Let them visualize how those cabinets could work in their own kitchens.
So they can measure their space and see if it fits.
Exactly. And while we're talking about details, don't just stick to the dry facts.
You mean like tell a story?
Exactly. Tell a story. What's the material? What's the finish? How old are they? Were they custom designed?
Give them some personality.
Yes. Help potential buyers connect with the history of the cabinets.
Okay, so let's say I've got my photos, measurements, a killer description. Now, how do I know what to charge for these things?
Research is your best friend. Go online, look at what similar cabinets are selling for, take into account the condition, the age. You're not going to get retail price, but don't undersell yourself either.
You know, it's funny. We always talk about condition with cars, but I never really thought about it with cabinets.
It's the same principle. A few scratches are normal. Major damage obviously affects the price. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Okay, so we've got the cabinets prepped. We know what we want to charge. But where do we actually sell these things? Craigslist.
Craigslist is definitely an option. Facebook Marketplace, too. They're easy to use, and they reach a lot of people.
Anyone else I should be thinking about?
Well, what about your own neighborhood? Have you talked to your neighbors?
You mean like word of mouth?
Exactly. You never know who might be looking for cabinets. And while you're at it, talk to contractors.
Contractors? What for?
They often resell used cabinets. They might be interested in yours. It's all about tapping into multiple avenues.
Right, so online, local, word of mouth.
Got it.
What about haggling? Should I be prepared to go lower?
You want a fair price, of course, but flexibility is key, especially if you want to sell quickly.
Makes sense. Now, what about the other stuff in the kitchen? Appliances.
Appliances. If they still work, sell them.
Really? People buy used appliances?
All the time. It's an extra revenue stream. Clean them up, do your research, maybe even offer a package deal with your cabinets.
That's a good idea. A kitchen starter kit.
Exactly. It makes things easier for the buyer, and you can probably sell faster, too.
So we've covered making money, but what if I just wanted to declutter? Get rid of this stuff. Can I donate it?
Absolutely. Organizations like Habitat for Humanity love getting used cabinets and appliances.
Really? I thought they just built houses.
They do, but they also run restores. They sell these donated items to fund their work. Plus, they often use them for affordable housing projects.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly. Your old stuff gets a second life, and you're helping a good cause. Plus, you might even get a tax deduction.
Okay, so donating is an option.
Yeah.
Got it. Now let's talk about the actual removal. Taking the cabinets out. That seems like a pain.
It can be, especially if you've got those big, heavy units. Honestly, if you're not comfortable with tools or heavy lifting, it's best to hire a pro.
A pro for taking out cabinets.
They have the experience, the tools. They can do it safely without damaging your walls or the cabinets themselves.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't want to hurt myself or ruin the cabinets if I'm trying to resell them.
Exactly. It's about weighing the risks and benefits.
So let's say I do hire a pro. What about the money? How do I make sure I get paid, especially for online sales?
This is important. Always, always get paid in full before the buyer takes anything. Cash is best if possible. But if they're using a check or money order, make sure it clears before you hand over the goods.
So no IOUs.
Definitely not. It's all about protecting yourself.
Okay, so we've covered photos, pricing, selling, even donating and removing cabinets. Phew. Is there anything else I should know before I dive into those online listings?
Think of your listing as a first date. First impressions matter.
So make it look good. We talked about the photos. Anything else?
You need a catchy headline, something that grabs attention and highlights the key selling points. Think about what would make you click.
So something like stunning cherry wood cabinets in excellent condition.
Perfect. Create a sense of urgency, highlight those desirable features, then in your description, tell a story. Highlight the craftsmanship, durability, and any unique design elements.
So visuals and a good story. But how do I stand out from the crowd? There's got to be tons of cabinet listings out there.
This one is simple but important. Be responsive. Answer any questions quickly. You don't want to lose a buyer because you took too long to get back to them.
It's basic customer service.
Exactly. Sometimes the simplest things make the biggest difference.
So far, so good. What about those contractors? Should I just start cold calling them?
Networking is key. Go to home improvement events, join industry groups online, do some research. And when you contact them, be prepared. Have photos ready, a detailed list of your cabinets.
So they know I'm serious.
Exactly. You're not just someone trying to get rid of old stuff. You're a resource they can tap into.
Like that. Okay, donation. You mentioned Habitat for Humanity. Any other places I could donate to?
Lots of organizations could use your cabinets. Look for local charities focused on housing or disaster relief. You might even be able to get a tax deduction. Talk to a tax advisor to be sure.
It's amazing to think that my old cabinets could actually help someone in need.
It really is, and it's a great way to reduce waste.
So we've talked about the good stuff, but are there any scams I should be aware of?
Always be cautious, especially online. Meet potential buyers in public places if possible, and trust your gut. If something feels off, walk away.
Okay, any red flags with payments?
Cash is always best, but if they're using a check or money order, make sure it clears before you let them take the cabinets. Don't be afraid to be a little cautious.
This has been incredibly helpful. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Your old cabinets are more than just junk. They're a piece of your history, a resource for someone else, and a step towards a more sustainable future.
That's a great way to put it.
Whether you sell, donate, or repurpose, you're giving them a second chance. It's a small act with a big impact.
And that's something we can all feel good about.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe the next time you're shopping for something for your home, you'll find the perfect piece in a consignment shop or online, a piece that someone else loved and gave a second life to.
That's a great reminder that one person's trash can truly be another person's treasure. Thanks for joining us today. Stay tuned for the next part of our deep dive. We'll be back with more insights and tips on showcasing your cabinets and maximizing their appeal.
So let's talk about showcasing your cabinets and making them shine. We already covered photos and descriptions, but there's another layer to this.
More layers. I thought we were done with the prep work.
Not quite. Think about it like staging a house for sale.
You mean like putting out fresh flowers and baking cookies? My baking skills are a bit rusty.
Not exactly baking cookies, but the idea is similar. We're going to create what I call vignettes.
Vignettes. Sounds fancy. What are those?
Basically, they're little styled displays. They help buyers visualize your cabinets in a real setting.
Like those photos on Instagram where everything looks perfect?
Exactly. It's about creating that aspirational feel. But don't worry, it's easier than you think.
Okay, so how do we do it? Where do we start?
First, choose a few of your best cabinets, the ones with interesting details or a timeless design.
So like the stars in the show.
Exactly. Give them a good clean, maybe a fresh coat of paint if they need it.
Got it. So I've got my star cabinets. Now what? Just put them against a wall.
We can do better than that. Think about the background. You can paint a wall a neutral color, or maybe use some reclaimed wood if you're going for a rustic look.
A rustic backdrop. That's a good idea. What about lighting?
Natural light is best, but if you can't get enough of that, use some soft lighting to avoid those harsh shadows.
So we can see all the details.
Exactly. We want to highlight those details, not hide them.
Okay, we've got the backdrop, the lighting. What else?
Accessories. This is where you can really get creative.
Oh no, not my Achilles heel.
It's not that hard. Think about a vase of flowers, some cookbooks, maybe a nice piece of artwork, things that complement the style of the cabinets.
So it's like creating a mini kitchen scene.
Exactly. You want potential buyers to imagine those cabinets in their own home, to see the possibilities.
So it's like storytelling, but with visuals.
You got it. And when you take those photos, make sure you capture that feeling, the warmth, the style, the functionality.
Those photos are going to stand out from all those blurry, cluttered ones online.
Oh yeah, they'll be a breath of fresh air.
Okay, so let's say I've done all this, created the perfect vignettes, took amazing photos, but still no buyers. What then?
Don't give up. Have you considered consignment shops?
Consignment. For cabinets.
Some shops specialize in furniture and home decor. They might be interested in your cabinets.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Especially if I don't want to deal with all the online stuff.
Exactly. They handle the selling, you get a cut of the profits. It's a win-win.
Okay, consignment is on the list. But let's be real. Not every set of cabinets is going to be a bestseller, right?
No. True. And that's where the sentimental side comes in.
You mean like feeling attached to my old kitchen?
It's more than just cabinets. It's memories of family dinners, holidays, all those moments.
Yeah, that's tough to let go of.
It is. So how do we balance those feelings with the need to move on?
Maybe it's about finding the right buyer, someone who'll appreciate the history and create new memories.
I like that. Passing on the torch, so to speak.
And even if I donate them, they're still getting a new life.
Yeah.
Helping someone create a home.
Exactly. It's about shifting our mindset from consumption to conservation.
From seeing junk to seeing potential.
Right. Instead of throwing things away, we give them a second chance, whether we sell them, donate them, or repurpose them.
It's a small step towards a more sustainable future.
And it all starts with something as simple as kitchen cabinets.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. But before we get too philosophical, let's talk about actually taking those cabinets out. That seems scary.
It can be, especially if you're not handy, but if you're up for the challenge, we can make it less intimidating. Safety first, of course, always.
Okay, safety first. Got it. What's next?
So we were talking about tackling this cabinet removal ourselves. What tools do we actually need?
Yeah, I'm kind of picturing myself standing there with like a butter knife and a prayer. Not really the handy type.
You'll need a bit more than that. A drill is essential, screwdriver, stud finder, level, pry bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to feel a little more equipped already.
Oh, and don't forget safety glasses and work gloves. Safety always comes first.
Of course, safety first. I'll try not to poke my eye out with the screwdriver, so where do I start?
First things first, empty those cabinets and take off all the doors and drawers. This will make them lighter and easier to handle.
Makes sense. I don't want to be wrestling with a fully loaded cabinet.
And once those are off, use your stud finder to mark the wall studs. You don't want to be ripping those cabinets out and damaging the walls.
So there's a rhyme and reason to this. It's not just brute force.
Not at all. Precision is key. Once you've marked your studs, carefully unscrew the cabinets. You might need a helper for the larger ones.
I definitely will. Those things are heavier than they look.
And as you take each cabinet down, label it. That way you'll know where it goes if you need to reassemble it.
That's a good tip. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
Now, what about the countertops? Do those come off before the cabinets?
Usually, yes. It gives you better access to the cabinets and makes things easier. You might need a putty knife to loosen any adhesive.
Got it. So let's say I've managed to remove everything without any disasters. Cabinets are stacked, labeled, ready to go. Any final words of wisdom?
Remember, these cabinets are more than just junk. They represent your past, they can be a resource for someone else, and they're part of building a more sustainable future.
It's kind of amazing to think about it that way.
It really is. Whether you sell them, donate them, or find a new use for them, you're giving them a second chance. And who knows, maybe the next time you're looking for something special for your home, you'll find it in a consignment shop or online, a piece that has its own history and story to tell.
I love that idea. It's like giving those cabinets a chance to write a new chapter.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here, right? Making thoughtful choices, reducing waste, and creating a more sustainable world.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the practical to the philosophical.
And remember, with a little creativity and effort, those old cabinets can become something truly remarkable.
So whether you're looking to make some extra cash, declutter your kitchen, or simply give back to your community, we hope this deep dive has inspired you to take a second look at those old cabinets and see the potential they hold. Until next time, happy reselling.